Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Mai, and I'm here to talk about the emotion code. And then I'm going to also do a live demonstration of the emotion code on myself so that you can see that in action. The emotion code is a tool and an approach that was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And the premise of the emotion code is that all of us as human beings, we have emotions that sometimes do not get processed, that we don't pay attention to for a number of reasons, whether that's in a crisis or urgency, or we're trying to repress that emotion because we're too scared of it. So those emotions then become trapped within our body, and they are energy balls about this big, and they can be trapped anywhere in our bodies at any given time. And the trapped emotions become emotional baggage over time when they are not processed and released. So we can have trapped emotions from yesterday to a week ago, a month ago, 2 years ago, or going all the way back into our childhood. And when we don't allow those trapped emotions to come out and be released, what often happens is that they contribute to physical pain. And this physical pain could be neck and shoulder pains, it could be back pain, it could also be mental and emotional pain. For example, following a divorce and not being able to process the emotions related to that, or a breakup of a very strong relationship that you thought you had. It could also lead to things like lack of focus, lack of attention, or self-sabotaging worthiness or feelings of worthiness and self-esteem as well. And so when you can release trapped emotions, it just allows you, the premise of it again is that it allows you to lead a more fulfilling life that's more joyful, more abundant. And it also allows you to notice the next time that those emotions do show up and how you can process it differently. The second part of the emotion code is that we need to be able to identify then what are all the types of emotions that are within our body that we don't know are contributing to our physical, mental, and emotional health. So how we do that is actually talking to the subconscious mind. The majority of us actually think that we are very conscious of what drives our patterns and beliefs and our actions in this world. But in reality, it is actually the subconscious mind that is driving most of the things that we do. The subconscious mind is like this huge computer system, both a software and a hardware that archives your memories, your interactions, all of your experiences and all those emotions that you are repressing or wanting to come through and feeling. It's archiving all of that. And so the subconscious mind can be often seen as like a lie detector. It knows what is true to you and it knows what is false. And it will always tell you whether something is false or whether it's true. In other words, it will tell you what's yes or what's no. So how do we contact the subconscious mind? Well, your body is actually the tool to use to contacting your subconscious mind or my subconscious mind. And your body has this biofeedback, this natural energy feedback that is a very instinctual response to what is being asked of your subconscious mind. And the way we do that in the emotion code is through muscle testing, or also known as applied kinesiology. And there are many different forms of muscle testing, but the form that I like to use is the ring test. And it's essentially taking your index finger and your thumb, creating a ring, and then taking your index finger and your thumb in your other hand and creating a ring. And then you're going to interlock it, okay? And in interlocking it, this will allow you just have to determine which side of your hand is going to be the one that locks and the one that breaks away, okay? Or it could be that both of them break away. So after many years of muscle testing, I've learned that the ring test is actually the best test for my own body in terms of muscle testing, and talking to my subconscious mind. And what I actually like to prefer is that I do the ring test and both fingers break away when something is not true that I'm asking of my subconscious mind. So it's very simple. We'll just ask the question of your subconscious mind, or at least my subconscious mind, what is true? And then when I pull, if I say true, it stays very strong. But when I say false, my body and the muscle responds, the muscles in my body respond that this is false. So show me yes, show me no. My name is my name is Mary. Okay, I was born in December. I was born in November. Okay, so it's a very simple test where it's just so automatic. You don't even know before your finger does something and your body responds in that way. And that is a very quick sample of muscle testing. There's many different forms of muscle testing. You have to find which one works for you. For me, it's the ring finger test. That's the one that works best for me. So now I would like to show for you the emotion code chart and how do we then identify the trapped emotions. And I'm going to just share my screen here. So in the work of Dr. Bradley Nelson, he has identified a number of emotions that are trapped within any given physical body, human body. And so this is a list of 60 emotions. There are so many more emotions outside of the 60, but we also know that these 60 are like the core and that there are ranges to each of these emotions. I found early on when I was doing the emotion code that I should, maybe the emotion isn't on this chart, but actually the emotion is on the chart. And I found that it works for all of my clients as well, including myself. And I don't need any other emotions besides what's on this chart. And so what you see here is a column A and a column B. And then you see rows 1 through 6. And the idea is that there is an emotion that fits within this column and the rows. These columns and rows are essentially just to help you quickly identify the emotion. Rather than having to go through all 60 and asking and muscle testing to see if it's an emotion that is trapped, you can easily ask if it's in column A or column B, or if it's in row 1, 3, or 5, which are the odd rows, or 2, 4, and 6. And that helps you quickly narrow down to the type of emotions that is coming up for you. So at this time, I'm actually going to do an emotion code sample for you now that I've shared with you about the chart. And what I'm going to do is I'll just bring up the chart again. And the first thing in the emotion code when we do this technique is that we want to make sure that we're grounded. And I usually do a moment of intention before I start the process. The power of intention cannot be understated. Intention itself and the energy that you give to that word and to the emotion that you might feel related to intention is extremely powerful. And that moment of intention for some people could just be a moment of silence. It could be a moment of gratitude. It's whatever it is that you want to say, whether it's a statement about your own recovery and rebalance for yourself. So I usually do a moment of silence or a moment of intention. And then when I'm done with my moment of intention, I will muscle test to make sure that I am connected to my subconscious at a physical level using the muscle testing of the ring finger. So I will just say, my name is Mai, okay? And then my name is Mary. Okay, so now I am connected to my subconscious, and I'm going to ask my subconscious, is there a trapped emotion that I need to release today? Yes, so it's a strong, so it's not going like this, which would be no, but this is strong. So that means, yes, there's a trapped emotion that I have to release today. So is this trapped emotion in column A? No, it's not in column A. Is it column B? Okay, so it's in column B. Is this trapped emotion in the odd rows? Yes, it's in the odd rows. So I'm just going to go through each of the row to identify where that trapped emotion is. Is this in row 1? Is this in row 3? Yes, the trapped emotion is in row 3. So now what I'm going to do is go through each of the trapped emotions in column B and row 3. So is this about confusion? Is this about defensive? Oh, it's defensiveness. So there's a trapped emotion around defensiveness. Me being defensive or feeling a sense of having to defend myself. Okay. And I just so you know, I'm feeling like this energy, like going all the way up, and it just wants to release. As I say the word defensiveness, and as my conscious mind remembers certain things that have happened since I last did the emotion code, my conscious mind is bringing right now to my attention something around defensiveness. Actually, the scene I actually see is around defensiveness. So I do resonate with that. So is defensiveness an emotion that I can clear today? Yes. Do I need to know more about defensiveness? No, I don't need to know more about it. So then the next step to release the emotion of defensiveness that has been trapped is that we have this governing meridian right here. And the governing meridian is like your super highway of energy. It controls, it's like your air traffic controller. Energy flows through some main meridians, of which the governing meridian is one of them in our bodies. It's an energy system or energy highway, I would say. And so how you release that is actually, because we are all energy, it's very easy to just using intention, release that energy of that emotion with the governing meridian. So we just swipe 3 times using our fingers. So I'm just going to swipe 3 times with the intention of releasing the energy of defensiveness out of my body, of my physical body. Okay. For myself, I often envision that the emotion literally goes right out and follows my line of my fingers and goes out of my head. And that helps me to see physically in my mind's eye that emotion being released. So did I release the emotion of defensiveness? Yes, I did. Okay. So is there another emotion that I can release today? Yes, it says yes. Okay, is this in column A? Oh, it's column A. Okay, so your subconscious knows exactly which number of emotions, the pattern of release of those emotions as well. So it's in column A. Is it in the odd rows? Nope, it's even. Okay, is it in row 2? Is it in row 4? So is it anger? Is it bitterness? Wow, okay, bitterness. Okay, I've been bitter about something, and immediately as I speak that out, I know exactly the scene that's very recent. And I know like my conscious mind is connecting to my subconscious because I know where that bitterness is coming from. And I can actually physically, as I'm paying attention to my body, my throat is getting kind of constricted. Yeah, like I want to hold that bitterness down, but it wants to come out. So is bitterness something that I can release today? Yes. Okay. Do I need to know more about bitterness? No, I don't need to know more about bitterness. So I'm going to swipe 3 times with the intention to release the emotion of bitterness and to move it out of my body because it no longer serves me. Okay. And what I usually do with my clients or for myself right now is I will say just kind of move around because your body does process these emotions or these energetic balls, and things can move in your body. You know, I'm already I actually feel like a real tightness in my throat right now that was not there before. So I know that something, whatever energy it was getting stuck here. Okay. And it wanted to come out. So All right. So I'm just going to ask again to my subconscious mind, is there another emotion that I can release today? Yes. Okay. There's another emotion that I need to release today. Is it in column A? No. Is it column B? It's in column B. Okay. So is it an odd row? Yes, it's an odd row. Okay. So is it row 1? Is it row 3? Is it row 5? Okay. So it's B and 5. So is it conflict? Is it creative insecurity? Is it terror? Is it unsupported? Oh, unsupported. Whoa. Okay. Those 3 emotions that I've released so far, or the 2 that I released, and this one, unsupported, the same scene is coming into my conscious mind. Like I immediately think about this scene. And so I'm just going to ask my subconscious mind, is it the scene and scenario that I keep thinking about in my head? Yes, it is. Whew, I can definitely know that emotion of unsupported I was feeling at that time. All right. Is unsupported something that I can release today? Yes. Okay. So is there anything else that I need to know about unsupported? Nope. And actually, my throat here feels even more constricted, which is really just interesting that this additional emotion is stuck here. So I'm just going to release it. 1, 2, 3. Releasing the emotion of unsupported. All right. So did I release the emotion of unsupported? Yes, I did. And actually, I feel like something just, it's not as constricted. There's still some tightness as those other 2 emotions and this emotion showed up, but I feel like a lighter piece of my throat. This is for how long I've been doing the emotion code, I still am like shocked at how much my body and my subconscious is talking to me through muscle testing, and then how I feel it in my body. It never gets old for sure. So is there another emotion that I can release today? Yes. Okay. So is it column A? No, it's column B. Is it odd rows? Okay. So we're back to odd rows. Is it 1? Is it 3? It's 5. Okay. Is it 5 again? So is it conflict, creative insecurity, terror? Oh my gosh, terror. Okay. Terror. Is this related to the scene or scenario that I'm thinking about? Yes. I would not have said that in the scene that I'm thinking about. I would not say that I felt terror, but now that word comes out, I did have a sense of fear around that scenario that I'm thinking in my head now. So that makes sense. And I'm feeling like something else wants to come out from my throat area. So definitely, I feel like my body is connected to that energy of terror. So is terror something that I can release today? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to swipe through. Oh, before I swipe, is there anything else I need to know about terror? No. Okay. So I'm going to swipe 3 times. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'm going to move my body around. Ooh. I really want to breathe. Like my body just wants to breathe. And actually, I'm thinking about the scenario that happened earlier today and those trapped emotions that I'm releasing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they completely connect to that scenario that I'm thinking about. And the wanting to breathe makes a lot of sense to me right now. So although I thought I processed that emotion and the feelings that I was having when that scenario came up, it's clear that there are remnants of those emotions that I did not clear up. So I'm glad that I was able to identify them and release them. So for the purpose of the demo today, I'm only going to work on those emotions. After this, I'm going to keep going at it to see how many other emotions come up. But I hope that you enjoyed being able to see how the emotion code could help myself. I personally feel like my life has changed because of the emotion code and the body code. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that if you're ever interested or are curious to learning more, please do join me in future webinars, introducing the emotion code, what it is, understanding about it, and then some live demonstrations as well. Thank you so much.